Well, howdy everybody. It's your friendly neighborhood chef Shade Tree. Yeah, it's me again. We're on video overload today, but there was a video I had to really get out. I've been wanting to do it for a long time, and well, like I say, or like they say, shit or get off the pot. Well, I got off the pot and did the video. So hope you guys check that out. It's about tools. And well, now I need to get back out here in the shop, and I want to start on that pile there. Get more of the cleaning done. I want to get on this pile here and remove some of it. But before I get started on that pile, if memory serves, when I was cleaning this corner out right here, I found something over here. I found a toolbox, which I haven't forgot about. It's down here. Hope you guys are still interested in seeing what's in it. And I also found a drill. I found this Skil drill. Didn't know if it worked or not. And if I remember, I think I found this in a vehicle that I'd bought. That's where that came from. I'm not for sure, but I'm almost positive that's what happened. Or that's where it came from. Anyways, I didn't know if it worked. So I plugged it in to see if it worked. Well, it didn't work. No go. Pressed the button, nothing. Well, I seen that somebody put this plug on it. I actually trimmed it up a little bit so it looks better. It wasn't that nice. It was all frayed out and everything. Anyway, I took the plug apart and found that the wire was broke off one of the prongs. It was this prong right here that was broke. I polished it up, cleaned it up. Yeah, we get a blur here. As you can see, I cleaned it up. Well, let's plug it in. And guess what? It works. Both ways. Both ways it works. So, yeah. There's a Skil drill. It's good to go. You even got a level on it so you can tell if it's level or not when you, yeah, whatever you want to call it. Drill a straight hole. Anyways, yes. Got a good working Skil drill here now. Go the other way. Works. Variable speed. Thought I'd show you guys that. Make sure that was working. Now, let's get into this hill mount of stuff here. I think there's like 3 transmissions in here. But I want to get into this. Some of the stuff I put here. There's a block back here. I think still got the pistons in it, I do believe. I'm not positive. But that's a 4.6 motor. That was mine. This stuff that's on this seat here is my stuff. I'm going to have to go through it because I don't remember exactly what the bolts and stuff was out of. I set it on that chair for some odd reason, and I don't know why. I won't know. I guess I won't know until I go through it. But I want to do that, get this pile cleaned up, because I do have that big job coming in. And I want to do some more maneuvering around in here so I can get some room. So the best thing to do is try to get this pile here taken care of. So I'm going to go through it, move some of the stuff out of here. There's some there's some tools in here. You can see there's a tool right there. There's some stuff up on top. Maybe I'll go through some of the stuff on top here real quick. I haven't touched some of this stuff, but here's a box full of Ford parts. There's a fuel filter, Motorcraft fuel filter. There is I don't know what this is. Oh, that's a vacuum port. There's some springs here, which I don't know what's for. If anybody knows what these springs are for, I'll have to do a Google search on them and see what the spring is for. Looks like there's some flywheel bolts in here that I don't know exactly what's for. Here's some of these things. This goes on carburetors to hold the choke housing. And there's some other goodies in here. I think these are, well, I can get this thing situated here. But these are fuel filter. I think there's an empty box in here. And there's all kinds of goodies in here. Just Ford stuff. But anyways, there we go. That's what's in this box. Okay, I sorted through some of the stuff here. These are all the same filter. These are all the same fuel filter. FG777A fuel filter with the attaching parts, I should say. Anyways, there's the 4 boxes there, and this is an empty box. I don't know if this box would be any good to anybody for any kind of purpose or not. I don't know. Anyway, I got a question. Why would my dad have these humane pig rings in this box? Insert the ring and just inside the nostrils, hook points pointing up. Do not ring too deep. Yeah, do not ring too deep. 3/8 to a half inch is enough. Do not get into the bone. I don't understand this at all. Why he would have these in the he must there's some kind of purpose for these or something. I don't know. Anyways, that's what was in this box. I'll put it back together here. I also found this tube of stuff in there. Rubber grease. Genuine Castrol Girling rubber grease. Don't know what that's for. Anybody know? Check it out. Here's an Edelbrock Performer 289 intake. That'll be a good intake to use. I'll have to keep that. A box of bolts that I don't remember what come out of. I'll figure it out, maybe. Who knows? Now, these bolts and stuff, bracket, this plate here, and this stuff here. There's bolts in this bucket. I am actually kind of curious to find out if these aren't the bolts that goes to that white Mustang out there. I had misplaced the bolts because it was a couple years between me putting the motor in that car and the transmission and stuff in that car, and I tore it apart. I tore it apart. A couple years later, put the motor and transmission back in it, and I didn't remember where I put the bolts and stuff. It might be these right here, right in front of me the whole entire time. I'm gonna check that out. I could possibly put that car back together now since I've found these bolts. Who knows? I don't remember. But anyways, that's what these stuff might go to. I'll have to figure it out. And now I think this is the 4-wheel drive gear selector out of my Ford truck. Found it in here. I would have been looking for that and probably would have never found it if I wouldn't have cleaned this out. I've been looking everywhere for that thing. But that's what that's for. I better put it in it. Just in case. So there's that 4.6 block, which I do believe the pistons are out of it. And that's pretty much going to be scrap. And it's going to be scrap iron. Probably because I left it in here because I didn't know nowhere else to put it, I guess. I don't know. But that's scrap iron. Here's a box full of tools. These are seal drivers for transmissions. That might be a transmission tool of some sort. And there's other odds and ends down in here, which I do believe goes for transmission stuff. That box was up over there, so I think I threw it over here. I'll probably put it up. This box is empty, has a power throttle body in it, probably for a Ford. I'll put that out in the motorhome because I don't know where that's at. Random box of cans here. There's a thermometer down in here. I don't think there's anything too important in here, but bottles of oil and paint, looks like. Yeah, Merc 5. More Merc, whatever that is. Merc 3. Yeah, just boxes of stuff. Let me get this thing out of the way, and we'll get to this engine block right here. I'll get it pulled out. Okay, I got down to the transmissions that were here. And there are 3 transmissions and half of another one. So that's 4. There's a cylinder head sitting there. That's an Oldsmobile cylinder head. It looks like that one and that one are BOP bell housings, which stands for Buick Olds Pontiac. They're multi-bolt pattern bell housings. Yeah. Anyways, that is a GM. No more Chevrolet bell housings. So them are Chevrolet transmissions. Yeah. So them are GMs. We'll get to that here in a minute or later. Don't know if I'll do that right now or yet or not. We'll do that sometime. These two boxes I moved from over there. It's got tools in them. My dad carried this box around for, as you can see, there's plumbing stuff in there. We'll go through that. As you can see, I backed my Dakota up to here, so I can use it as, for that. I need to find a way to get those transmissions in the back of it, which I think I come to an idea how to do it. I don't want to carry them all the way from there. That's going to be 20 feet of carrying from there to there, and then pick them up and get them into the back there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put them on the dolly there. Just set it up on the dolly, and I'll probably be able to pick that one up and carry it over. The other three will be a little bit heavier, so I'm going to try to get that done. Well, I got the transmissions moved. They're over here. I better not risk. I did pick that one up and put it in. I picked it up and carried it over, that one. Those three right there, I better not lift them up and try to put them in bed myself, because I don't want to blow out my back and be down for several days. If I do that, yeah, I'll definitely throw my back out. That's too much for me right now. As far as the boxes of tools, that box, we'll go through them later, because I've got actually this box right here that I want to go through. There's some stuff in that I found over there in that corner. So we'll go through the boxes of tools. Talk about this motor, or block. That's what it's looking like so far with that cleaned up. I don't know how I'm going to get that thing out of here. I might just take the crane and hook it up and throw it in the back of the Dakota, maybe. Don't know yet. We'll see. But what I want to do is I want to move that someplace else. I want to keep it up because it's kind of handy to use to throw stuff on. As you can see, I'm using it. I don't necessarily want to put it over here. But as you can see, I got a bunch of stuff down here. My dad, in this hole right here, used to keep his drain pan, the one drain pan, and his coolant tank. He used to put them in the slot there, but couldn't get to it anymore. So I'm gonna get it cleaned out. We'll do that tomorrow. I'm tired, guys. I'm about wore out. The reason I'm gonna end this video. I'll show you one thing real quick that I'm doing. I had to make some room in the freezer for that meat I bought, so I'm cooking something. Now that's the salmon I'm going to throw on my grill. I'm doing this Atlantic salmon portions, the garlic and herb. I'm not going to put any other seasoning on it because I want to see what it tastes like, just the way it is. So I'm going to throw that on the grill real quick. Well, there's my salmon, and I did put some Cajun seasoning on this side here. I like a little Cajun seasoning, but I wanted to leave one side alone. So I just put the Cajun seasoning on that side. There's my pie. You see, it's turning out pretty good. It's probably cooked. I'm just letting it. I took the foil. I put foil on top of it, and I'm gonna let it off so the crust can brown a little bit while it's in here. So my salmon's about done. And what else am I getting? I did those Yukon Gold potatoes. These right here, the Steakhouse Yukon Gold mashed potatoes, did them, and my baby peas, and that's what I have tonight for supper, guys. So I'll get back with you in a little bit. And before I end this video, what I want to do, guys, I want to ask you guys a question real quick. Would you guys be interested in doing a full unboxing of the Toolent tools, or would you be all right with just a few at a time? Like I'm gonna do just like one at a time on a couple of them, and then do like the wrenches together or something. Let me know. See what you think. But thanks, guys, for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm wore out. I'm not doing too good right now. I'm just flustered right now. But anyways, thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys later. Thanks.